Okay, so what had happened was, hey guys, welcome to this episode of Rolling with T-Bone. If you're new here, welcome in. My name's T-Bone. I shoot motorcycle related content and any kind of content really. If you are new here, I invite you to check out a few of my videos. If you think I'm right for you, consider giving us a subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you're old here, welcome back. You know what's going on. Let's dive into it. All right, guys. Well, anyway, what had happened is I missed the group ride. They just took off and left. Now, on their behalf, it's not their fault. I sort of didn't text by anybody and let them know I was coming. I just saw it in the group text, and I thought, yeah, maybe I'd go for a ride with them. So, it was my lack of communication skills, but here we are. We're out here on Miss Jazz. We are going to talk about a couple of things. Actually, I do have some subjects I want to discuss with y'all just real quick if we can. But, oh man, I tell you first, I want to talk about this weather in February. Guys, we're having 72, 70 to 73 days, 72, 73 degree days in February. Now, that in itself is not odd, but that is telling me that we are probably in trouble when March comes. We shouldn't be having this kind of weather in February. Should not be having these kind of temperatures at all in February. So I got a feeling March, and you know, you hear the old saying, March is either going, well, if it comes in like a lion, leave like a lamb, or come in like a lamb and leave like a lion. We are like not even really mid-February at the time I'm recording this, and we're having beautiful weather. You know, turn the heat off, turn the fans on kind of weather, and that's really odd for February. Which February, and you guys have heard me say this in other videos, that February is kind of like a flip of the coin. You really don't ever know what you're going to get with February. And the other month that's like that for us is April. February and April, because April sometimes you get, you know, nice, you know, spring weather, and then sometimes in April you get snow. So February and April are two of the kind of toss-up months here. You never know what you're going to get. Oh man, so the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is the live streams. Man, I know there's a lot of stuff swirling around about the live streams right now. We've got people who are, you know, starting to kind of get burnt out on the live streams, and we got people who don't really see what the big deal about everybody coming in on the live stream is. You know, I have kind of found, and I'm not attacking anybody. Your channel, your YouTube, your channel, you do what you want to do. But I have kind of learned that with the lives, you know, if you don't have a subject that you're talking about, or you're not, you know, you're not putting out a certain type of content on your live, or, you know, whatever, you know, they're starting to go kind of stale. You know, you got people who's nodding off while they're on, dead air, a lot of repetitive stuff. And God, this is going to sound bad, and guys, I don't mean for it to sound bad, but I would rather find something interesting to watch, to be honest with you, if I'm going to, you know, because usually in the evening times, that's when I'm sitting back and I'm either editing on my videos, or you know, I'm preparing for work the next day, and I kind of want to be entertained. And now I'm a big comedian guy. I like watching a lot of comedy, which I have been the last couple of weeks, but you know, I know I haven't been into the live streams as much. You know, if there's something cool going on, I'll go hang out in the live, but just to have a live, to just be sitting there in front of a camera, you know, if you're just wanting to hang out with your buddies and talk, you know, don't go live. Just stay in the, you know, stay on the backstage, and you guys just sit and chit chat. I mean, You know, not everybody has to do a live every day of the week is what I'm saying. And I think they're kind of with, you know, I know with me, it's just, there's not really nothing going on, and you can only hear the same stories and the same conversations, you know, to where you're like, okay, well, we've done had this conversation, we've done talked about all this stuff, there's not nothing really new being brought up. But like I said, you know, I'm more content driven, and it's just me. I'm not throwing shade on anybody's channel. I'm not throwing, you know, dispersions toward anybody. This is called YouTube. So you do your channel the way you want to. You should never take my advice on what to do on your personal channel. But, you know, like I said, just for me, I'm kind of a content-driven guy. I like subjects. Even if I'm just out riding, you know, if I don't have a subject, I'll throw some music in or something like that. But usually if I don't have something to talk about, I just don't record. I just ride and enjoy the ride. But, you know, and it's not just me. I've had other people to reach out to me, you know, on Facebook Messenger and text me. Those who have my number will text, and they'll be like, you know, wow, you know, and I've noticed that people even inside the comments will try to ask questions to get a, you know, to get a subject going, to get people, you know, to even try to get the panel involved in what's going on a little bit, you know, your community. You know, Moto Vaughn, Virginia, I think he does the original community live, like his on Saturday nights. He gets a lot more people in, but Moto does a lot of stuff too. He shares, and, you know, he shares people's videos and pics. But, you know, eventually people just kind of get sour on it, I guess. It's not that they get sour, it's just that there's nothing there for stimulation. There's nothing there to make them think, or there's, you know, and I know not everybody watches YouTube for stimulation, but when I want to watch something, I won't be stimulated by it. But again, now, this is just me. Well, I guess since we missed the ride, we'll just make our own ride around. But, you know, that's, it's kind of part and parcel of trying to figure out what your niche is on YouTube. I know a lot of people are still I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, the cryptid thing, I'm doing a lot with the cryptid stuff. Of course, over with John doing the rabbit hole. You know, it's kind of one of those things where you just want to shoot the darts at the wall and see which ones stick. You know, not every video is going to be a home run. Not every live stream can be a home run. But yeah, people want to be entertained, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I know I do. But when you know, and what I was saying, and I think I kind of, you know, I hurt some people's feelings, and I didn't mean to. But what I was talking about with the live streams is oversaturation. Okay. You've got, you know, live streams, and most people don't live stream on Monday nights, which I've been stuck in my 7:30 night position on Monday nights. I'm not changing for anybody. But, you know, you got a Tuesday night live stream, or you did have. My retired rider stopped doing his Tuesday night live stream because he was like, you know, I'm so busy with the rabbit hole, and we're all trying to get the rabbit hole going, him and I and Coy. You know, you got Wednesday night, you got Thursday night, you got Friday night, you got Saturday night, you got lives in the morning times, and then lives all day long. You know, it's really oversaturating the live stream market. It's, you know, especially when you've got our group, which is, you know, our group, a core group, we've got about 20 people, 22, 24 people. That's the core group that's there every time the lives go up. You know, eventually you're going to run out of things to talk about, and that's fine. I mean, that's, you know, you're not just out here living the 007 lifestyle with just fun and exciting stuff happening 24/7. But, you know, I think once you get to a point to where you're like, okay, maybe I don't have nothing to talk about tonight, just say, hey, I don't, you know, I'm not going to do a live tonight or today or anytime, you know, just like we Super Bowl Sunday night, we canceled the rabbit hole. You know, John kind of got the idea. Him and Corey had talked, and he hollered at me that, you know, people are going to be watching the Super Bowl that night. Of course they're going to be. Now, does a lot of hardcore watchers watch the Super Bowl? I don't know. But, you know, I was like, that's cool, because really, you know, I don't really, and I didn't tell John this, but of course I wasn't feeling the live that day. I just, you know, I was tired. I'd had a long weekend. We'd had vehicle troubles with my truck all week long. Had vehicle trouble then, of course, the Saturday night before with R1's car. And I just really wasn't feeling the live stream. I wasn't feeling anything, just to be honest with you. I didn't really care if I got out and done anything or not. But, you know, sometimes you just have to say, you know, and then I know it gets to, it's getting to be where people are trying to make their live streams a priority. They're, you know, they're just all about doing it. And, you know, that's kind of, you know, I know some people love to do it. I get it. I get it. You enjoy doing it. It's something that brings you pleasure. And like I said, don't take my advice on anything. Do you. But, you know, just for me personally, it's just kind of an oversaturation of the market. You got too many people trying to do the exact same thing. And then, you know, if you've got things to talk about, that's one thing. But if you're just kind of just hanging out and staring at each other on a computer screen for 2 or 3 hours, that's just kind of, I don't know, to me it seems kind of boring, I guess, because I'm very subject driven. I try to have a subject, even if it ain't a good subject. I try to have a good subject at least, you know. But I'm gonna get off of that now. But I do want to talk to you also about the upcoming stuff with Rolling with T-Bone. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the cryptid stuff I enjoy doing, but I kind of enjoyed that UFO video I did. I know it's been a couple of weeks back now, but I really enjoyed that video. I enjoyed doing that research on the Fife County UFO. So I may be sprinkling in a touch of the UFO stuff from time to time. I mean, like I said, I had a blast doing it. I haven't really studied up for anything right now. I've got a list of things that I'm going to start studying up on, but I'm just kind of taking a break from the studying right now, enjoying other things. I've even found that with myself, I'm getting stuck in the rut of just studying all the time. And you know, when you turn your hobby into your job, that's why I've never really wanted to be a motorcycle mechanic or have a shop and work on motorcycles all the time, build motorcycles, because this is a hobby for me. This is something I absolutely love to do. And I know me, if I tried to turn my hobby into my career, I would get bored of it, I would get irritated with it, and then I would just not want to do it anymore. So but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the UFO video. I really did. I have been checking into paranormal stuff, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the paranormal stuff, it gets covered a lot. And I have noticed with some of the paranormal channels that I've checked out, you've really got to be careful about how you present the paranormal stuff. You can't just, you know, throw it out there like you do with the cryptids, the ufology. You know, because you touch on, I've noticed with the paranormal stuff, and I reached out to one paranormal channel, and they got back in touch with me, and we talked, you know, back and forth messaging, and I said, it seems like that you really got to be careful. And they said, yeah, you know, and it's not that it's a bad subject to talk about, it's just that it is a sensitive subject. You know, people who have lost loved ones, you might be covering a ghost story that has their loved one featured in it, property. So you really got to be careful. It's really a sensitive subject, and you kind of really got to watch out what you do and what you say with the paranormal stuff. And I get that. You know, you don't want to put nothing in that don't belong or leave nothing out. But Very cool subject, paranormal is. I'm starting to think my cell phone's haunted. I could have swore coming up through there I heard my cell phone going off, but it wasn't, so. But anyway, with the paranormal stuff, guys, yeah. Excuse me, sorry guys, pollen. I'm telling you, February pollen, this is so weird. This is so weird, having this kind of weather in February. But anyway, like I was saying, with the paranormal stuff, guys, I have to be honest with you. A lot of it's been covered to death, but there are some things that does, you know, interest me. So I'm just going to be lightly sprinkling the paranormal stuff in for right now. But the cryptid stuff and the ufology stuff is where my mind is right now with all that, especially with the cryptids, and always with the cryptids. So see if I can cross Highway 5 without getting splatted. Oh yeah, we're good to go. But not to be outdone, the ufology stuff, the UFO stuff, the alien stuff, that stuff right there, guys, draws super huge interest from people. I want to say it's almost like it's a taboo thing that you sit in the closet and you watch UFO videos on YouTube. I don't think it's taboo. I mean, I think there's so much going on in the world right now. So many sightings. Everybody has cameras. Of course, you're seeing all kinds of videos coming out. And now we've reached the point that we're kind of at with cryptids when it comes to the UFO stuff. Is what's real, what's not real. Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Kind of stuff. And man, you know, you would have thought, and of course we've all said this over the years, people who have studied cryptids, who have studied ufology, even paranormal, we always said, man, someday cameras will get to the point to where they can, you know, be high resolution enough to pick up stuff. And now that we're seeing clearer images of, you know, Sasquatch, UFOs, ghosts, you know, paranormal activity, we're all starting to question, okay, well, is it real? And I didn't actually see it taking that turn, just to be honest with you. I knew there was always going to be skeptics, but I was kind of one of those who was sitting in the back like, yeah, once we get higher resolution cameras, then we can start getting some undeniable proof of everything. Well, it turns out that even with high resolution cameras, the same amount of skepticism that comes from the blurry, shaky video, the same amount of skepticism is still there. So I don't know that the high resolution videos have helped anything out, just to be honest with you. And I really didn't see it taking that turn. I kind of thought, man, once we get to where but you know, I think with the problem is that the newer cameras, the higher resolution cameras, the newer cameras have kind of fell in line with AI. And man, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with AI. You can make anything you want with AI. So now, if you see something that looks too good to be true, you start questioning, and then you say, well, is that AI? So it's kind of a catch-22. It's you know, one of those old darned if you do and darned if you don't situations. So darn it, I will. But yeah, it's you know what, with paranormal stuff, you know, it don't always have to be capturing a ghost. You know, and to me, paranormal isn't always about just seeing a ghost. To me, it's about a feeling. You know, when I visit the Chastain House, or you know, I visit certain cemeteries around my area that have a lot of history, and there's stories that go along with them. It's just kind of the feeling that you almost freak yourself out. I think that's what I like the most about it. And with the ufology and the cryptid stuff, it's the, You know, and I say this in every video, it's the what if. For me, it's the what if. You know, I know what I've seen. I know what I've seen. I know what the experiences are that I have had. But it's nobody's place to believe me. You know, I can't get mad at people for being skeptical about what I say I've been through. That's just human nature. So it's not, you know, it's not my place to make people believe. It's just my place to report it, and as I do with my cryptid videos, you know, whether it be Bigfoot, Lizard Man, whatever, all I can do is report to you the facts, and then I kind of try to talk about the hypotheticals. You know, like a few weeks back with Lizard Man, when I did the Lizard Man episode, I threw the big bearded dragons in there. I threw the Komodo dragon in there. I threw, you know, alligators and, you know, all these different types of lizards that we know can do some of the things that Lizard Man is known to do. To me, that makes it more interesting because if you've noticed, and this is kind of what a few weeks back, John and Coy and they had Ray's Moto Life on, and they did a Wednesday rabbit hole without me, but I can't be at every rabbit hole. It just ain't feasible for me to do that. But they were doing good. Of course, now I was in the comment breaking their balls because that's what I do, but they were having a good conversation. And you know, one of the things that kind of stood out to me is, you know, you got to be careful when you're doing stuff like this, when you're talking cryptids, or when you're talking UFOs, or when you're talking paranormal stuff. You can't take a hard stand on it, because if you take a hard stand on it, then people are going to say, well, you're just talking about it to put it down, or, well, you believe that it all exists and you're not going to take nobody else's opinion on it. And that's what I never want, especially my channel here, Rolling with T-Bone. That's what my channel will never be. I want to hear other people's takes on it. I want to hear other people's stories and ideas, because, you know, if I just look at it, and we've had this conversation before, if I just look at everything through one set of glasses, and I'm unwilling to listen to what other people have to say, then I pretty well much have already done the foredrawn conclusion thing. And an episode I did a couple of months back, if you remember, I talked about Occam's razor. When you do that, you have applied Occam's razor, that the simplest answer is the right answer, and you close the door for any conversation to be had. So, you know, I would caution anybody. Of course, John, me and him had this conversation about the rabbit hole, and I would caution anybody really who's doing videos about this kind of stuff, don't just draw the razor on it. Keep your mind open, keep the possibilities open, because even if you have already drawn a pretty much foregone conclusion yourself about something, when you present it and you open the door for other people to get involved in it, it makes your channel more approachable, and it makes you more approachable. It makes you more likable. Do I always, is everybody like, man, we love the cryptid stuff? No, I've got people who are like, man, you know, it's not my cup of tea. It's good for you. They won't watch the videos, and that's fine. I don't expect everybody to watch my channel all the time, which is why I put that disclaimer in at the beginning. If you like what you see here, maybe consider then checking out some more of my stuff, and if you think you like it, give me a subscribe, because I'm not for everybody, and I get that. I'm not deluded enough to think that everybody has to like me, because I know they don't have to. So I always say, just keep an open mind about things. Don't just shut somebody down, and don't take a hard stance on anything, because, you know, when you're wrong, or when you make yourself look wrong, then that's, you know, that just makes everybody uncomfortable, and it makes it awkward. Oh yeah, sorry about rambling on there, guys, but you know, that's kind of what this video was going to be today, was just me kind of talking about things and getting things lined up in my own head. I've got more stuff coming from cryptids to just moto vlogging. I'm ready to get spring in session though. I'm ready to get regular riding weather in and get you know, get my stuff lined up, which probably starting next month I'm going to be touting the dates for the Georgia motorcycle meetup, the YouTube motorcycle meetup. I hope everybody who's around the local area can make it to that. But I'll tell you what, guys, I think for now I'm going to get off here, and I'm just going to say we've got us a regular old episode of Rolling with T-Bone Shop. As my strings from my hoodie keep slapping my helmet, driving me crazy. Thought I tucked those in last time I stopped, but apparently not. But I tell you what, guys, y'all remember to like, share, comment, and if you like what you see, watch a few of my videos. If you like what you see, then subscribe. But you know, again, I want to say this before I leave y'all. Please don't nobody take what I said about the lives or about taking hard stands on subjects. Don't take that stuff to heart. These are just my views. These are just the things that I see. Because I know some people will take it personal, and you know, you don't have to take it personal, because I don't mean nothing personal by it. But with that, I will say, until the next time, guys, y'all remember to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and hey, thanks for watching.